If you have a cruise booked for August or September, your cruise is canceled. You may want to check with or check your emails or however you receive notification from the cruise line that you have a cruise with. You will probably be receiving an email or a notification concerning details of your cruise being canceled. So here's basically what's going on. All U.S.-based ships are paused until the fall. They are suspended until the fall. And before I start talking about the details of that, you're going to hear this word CLIA a lot. CLIA is International a Cruise Lines International Association. That's what CLIA pronounced. CLIA stands for. So when you hear me saying CLIA, it's a trade industry for the cruise industry, giving them a unified voice. This was established in CLIA was established in 1975. It's the largest cruise industry trade association, providing a unified voice and leading authority on the global cruise community. CLIA supports policies and practices that foster a safe, secure, healthy, sustainable cruise ship environment and is dedicated to promoting the cruise travel experience. So most of the major cruise line, they are a part of CLIA. They are members of CLIA, and I'll be telling the ones that's not. Usually the riverboat cruise and the smaller cruise lines are not associated with CLIA. So that's a little background of what's going on. So as I said, all major cruise lines extended shutdown until September 15. The main trade group for the cruise industry, as I just discussed, CLIA, Cruise Lines International, on Friday announced that all of its members operating ocean-going ships would extend their suspension of cruises in U.S. waters until September 15. The announcement means that another wave of cancellation is on its way from lines such as Royal Caribbean, Celebrity Cruise Lines, and Carnival Lines. The three brands have canceled all sailings through the end of July, but still have trips on the books for August and beyond. Now, I'm assuming that MSC, I'm not assuming, I'm pretty sure that MSC is a part of this part of CLIA, and also Norwegian. Norwegian, I think, already announced that they're is not doing cruises until October. MSC was actually sending out emails and memos asking cruise lines, because most of the cruise lines, most of the crew, the workers, are at home on furlough, laid off until cruising starts back. There are a few still at sea trying to get home, but most of them are at home. And MSC was sending out saying who's interested in coming back. So I think they were going to try to actually start back cruising before then. But MSC do a lot of the out of the country cruises. They have a lot of ports that's not in the U.S. So they possibly could be looking for crew members for them. But as far as U.S. waters goes, it's been shut down until September 15th, till the fall. And as I said before, nearly every major cruise line in the world is a member of CLIA. And the exceptions are the smaller cruise line like Viking, Uncruise, or Jung Cruise, Adventures, Lindblad Expeditions, smaller cruise, and the river cruises. They are not a part of CLIA. CLIA cited the ongoing situation within the U.S. related to COVID-19 is why they are making this announcement, why they made this decision. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, has issued a no-sail order for cruise ships in the U.S. waters set to expire on July 24th. But many industry watchers expect the agency to extend the order in the coming days. Although we had hoped that cruise activity could resume as soon as possible after that date, it is increasingly clear that more time will be needed to resolve barriers to resume cruising in the United States. CLIA said that it was confident that future cruises will be healthy and safe, and will fully reflect the latest protective measures to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. It suggested it was erring on the side of caution in pushing back the resumption of cruising in the U.S. waters. This is painful for me, y'all, because I wanted so badly for cruising to start back in August. And that's so irresponsible for me because I'm looking at, and I even did a video on the numbers and the states that's having increasing in COVID, people testing positive for COVID. Um, the additional time will also allow us to consult with the CDC on measures that will be appropriate for the eventual resumption of cruise operation. The extended um, the extended shutdown does not apply to small ships designed to carry fewer than 250 passenger and crew. Such vessels are exempt from the CDC's no-sail orders. So that's usually, like I said, the river cruise. They have less than 250 people on their cruise, or yachts or things like that. They are exempt from the CDC order. Some major lines have already canceled all sailings into the fall in advance of Friday's announcement from CLIA. Just this past Tuesday, Norwegian Cruise Line and its sister brand, Regent Seven Seas Cruise and Oceania Cruises, canceled nearly all sailings until early October. The move came just weeks after Cunard line canceled sailings until November. And then you have other cruise lines like Seabourn, Holland American, Princess Waters, Windstar Cruises also already have announced they wouldn't resume sailing until the fall and at the earliest. Still, the two biggest cruise lines in the world, Royal Caribbean and Carnival, were among the lines that had yet to cancel all of some of their August sailings. I'm in a lot of like little cruise groups, especially on Facebook, and I still heard people saying, "Well, I hope that my cruise is a go in August." And I'm thinking in my mind, surely you must know that even in spite of what Carnival said, in spite of them still selling them, in spite of them not taking them off down for selling, you have to know that they're not selling in August. Looking at the numbers, looking at how what's going on in Florida, and most of the ports are in Florida. Florida had this big increase. The government there has said that they're not closing, not going back to stay at home or shelter in place orders, but there's been an increase in people testing positive for COVID in Florida. And again, that's where most of the ports are. There's ports in New Jersey. Surely the port in New Jersey is not going to open up for cruising. Ports in Louisiana, in the New Orleans area. So the ports are in areas that's hot spots. There's ports in Texas. Texas has had increase. The port in Charleston is South Carolina is not open. So looking at all of these ports that's closed and the numbers in these states or these cities where the ports are, you have to know that they would not be cruising in August. But so I think that they're now sending out notifications and emails saying that those cruises for August and most of September is canceled. And I would say because this suspension lasts till September 15th, that we should not expect any cruise until October, if at all. I say we're probably not going to cruise till 2021. I have a cruise booked for November 9th, and I'm not going to cancel it myself, but I suspect that they're probably going to cancel that cruise. I like for them to cancel my cruise because when they cancel your cruise, you get all of your money back, not in credits, but a full refund. What I call a cash refund, even if you booked it on your credit card. But y'all know what I mean. Rather than them giving you credits, you get a full refund without any penalties or anything, or without going in through any trouble. So I will wait on them to cancel me and to refund me, because I suspect the cruise will be canceled. I just don't see us cruising in 2020. It'll probably resume in 2021. It is becoming increasingly clear that cruising out of U.S. ports may not return as quickly as cruising in some other parts of the world. Most notably, Europe most notably Europe. Many countries in Europe are far ahead of U.S., bringing down coronavirus case count numbers. A few small cruise vessels in Europe, mostly river ships, have already begun to restart selling on a localized basis with trips aimed at the local market. So, and I did a video on river cruises some months ago, and I probably link that in the description. I have to go back and find it because it may have been a year ago, and I gave a description of what river cruise are and what they look like, and they're similar. They offer some of the same luxuries that the bigger cruise ships offer, just on a much smaller scale, meaning that it's much less people. So it's European countries. They've already started resuming those river cruises, and it may be something that I look into here in the United States once they restart them here in the U.S. On Tuesday, Norwegian cruise and ferry companies restarted its farm ferry service. It's farmed. I can't see this word. Famed ferry service, excuse me, along with the coast of Norway, which often draws traditional cruisers as well as local travelers between Norwegian towns. So that's pretty much what's happening right now. All major U.S. cruise lines is being shut down until September 15th. So this is the notification that I was referring to that you should receive in the mail. This is similar, where Carnival sent out one. It says, "We are aware of today's announcement by the Cruise Line International Association about the industry's support of an extension of the voluntary pauses in the U.S. cruise operations until September 15th. We will be notifying guests and travel agent partners about our own plans on Monday. We appreciate your patience and support." So they will be adjusting their website by Monday and sending out notifications by Monday. Also, as a result of COVID-19, Carnival Cruise Line is selling 6 of their ships. They started some of their ships that were not in commission. I heard that they were selling, what you call it, when you car lots do it, where they trash or junkyard or sell off parts of their ships. But 6 of their ships in their fleet, they're actually selling. And I don't have a list of what ships they are. Let me see if I can let me see if I can Google what ships they're selling. Because I didn't have a list of it. And I don't think they're giving the names because everywhere that I'm looking is saying more to come. So they're not giving the names of the ships. But anyway, so they're selling them. Carnival is selling 6 ships, cruise ships, after a $4.4 billion loss, a sign of the industry's bleak future in this pandemic. Carnival Cruises, which includes brands such as P&O, Princess Cruises, and I think this is pronounced Carnard, is to sell 6 ships amid a downturn caused by the coronavirus crisis. All the slides I had, I think that's all the slides I had. So it's definitely affecting the industry. And as I always say, and I always remind people, that not only is it hitting the very rich, because obviously the CEO of Carnival is a rich man, and the owners, and it's held by stocks, and same thing with Royal and all the others. But whenever this happened, it's a trickle down effect. So cruising stopped, and it probably won't resume till October and November, more than likely 2021. That means the crew that worked on there, they're out of work. The people who work the ports, they're out of work. People who transport people back and forth from the hotels to the port, or from flights from the airlines to the port, again, affected. The hotels where people you normally stay in Miami and in different cruise ports, they're going to have a drop in business. Uber drivers, they get a lot of business when those ships come in. I can just go on and on and on and on how this affect people. They're out of work. People affected by this whole shutdown of cruising. But it's unfortunately necessary, as in everything going on. The NBA couldn't play. The NFL is probably going to be canceled. This pandemic is affecting everything. And what can we do about it? I think that if people practice social distancing, practice shelter in place, let this thing go away. We're not doing it, and now I'm beginning to fuss, and I don't need to fuss, because this is a cruise video, not a what we should do video. But I just feel like we're not helping ourselves get to where other countries have gotten. I said earlier that European countries are able to resume. Their numbers are down, so they're able to slowly move back into their new normal, back into activities that they want to do. Why can't the United States do that? Because we're fighting against wearing masks. We're fighting against social distancing. We're fighting against shelter in place. We're just refusing to do it. My daddy used to have a saying that he used to say a lot when we was growing up. Free to your food. So free to your food. Is the United States have so much freedom till we're foolish with it? I don't know. Let me stop because I'm beginning to ramble and go off topic. But this is what's going on. Don't expect any cruising until September 15th and probably even after that date. This is Miss Cruiser, who don't cruise, who's not cruising. Please like, share, and subscribe.